Hi and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Artifact, which is Valve's new upcoming digital card game. I'm really excited about this game, but there hasn't been much information coming out. And finally Gabe Kaplan had a press conference with some lucky journalists and revealed some of the information, let them play the game, talk about the business model and stuff like that. So today I'm just going to give you some information and hopefully we'll learn something. So what is Artifact? Well, Artifact is a digital card game in like the style of Hearthstone, Magic the Gathering, etc. But it has a few twists, and Valve really put their stamp on it. So how does it play? It actually plays like Dota 2, in that you have a hero cards and you have, importantly, lanes with creeps. So it should be creeps are like weaker minions that populate the board, and you have to take them out. And once you've taken them out, then you can attack the tower. And the tower actually has 40 health. And then if you take out one of the towers, then you have to take out one of the heroes that will spawn on one of the lanes, and that actually has 80 health. So you kind of have to, and then you have to kill 2 towers or a tower and 1 hero. So you could kill 2 towers for 40 health, or you could put all your resources on one lane and kill 120 worth of HP. But it's really interesting because you can play the game in multiple ways. It also has two types of resources which make it rather interesting, not like Hearthstone. There's a pool that allows you to cast spells and play cards from the mana pool, and that goes up one turn. It goes up by 1 each round, and that's pretty standard. But also, like Dota 2, you can earn gold when you kill enemies, and like in between rounds and turns, you can buy equipment and weapons and outfit your heroes. So it's really interesting system. Cards won't cost gold, but they have to use mana, obviously. There are going to be 4 colours instead of like the 5 colours in Magic the Gathering: black, green, red and blue. And you can't use spells of a certain colour on a certain lane unless you have that hero. So you might have one lane which you will devote to red, and then one lane you might devote to black. Black, the assassination colour. Red is also going to be strong in. I'll just go through actually some of the colours combinations. So green is going to be usually focused on buffs and like the creep cards, while blue is going to specialise in strong spells in exchange for like a weaker heroes, so they won't be able to hit as hard, those heroes. But red on the other hand is going to have the stronger heroes and the weaker spells. And then the black is going to focus on single target removement and like displacement spells. Maybe you might have a lane where you're focusing and you really want to, kill that tower, but that has a big minion that you can't get through. You might be able to move that big minion over to the other lane where you don't actually care about. So yeah, also there's going to be less limits. Like in Hearthstone, you have to have 30 cards, and you can only have 10 cards in your hand, and then a maximum of 10 mana. Well, in Artifact, your decks can have at the least 40 cards, but then it could go up. You could have as many as you like. Also, the mana increases per round for as long as the game goes up, so you could have no limit on the amount of mana and no amount of limit on the cards that you can hold in your hand at once. Also, Artifact doesn't have any limit on the number of creeps you control, so they could just overpopulate the board if you don't put them, if you don't take them out quick enough. Also, there's going to be massive community involvement in this project. There's going to be a Steam workshop where players can submit content for the game. There are going to be artists going to publish their own art. The Artifact is going to support mods at launch. It's going to be really exciting. But one of the things I'm not so happy about is that it's not going to have an extensive single player campaign. I quite like the Dungeons and Ventures in Hearthstone, and especially Elder Scrolls with their Dark Brotherhood story campaign. That's really interesting, but it's not going to do that. Outside the realms of kind of like a tutorial, Artifact is just going to focus extensively on multiplayer games. It's one-on-one. Also, Artifact is going to be quite a complicated game. They're trying to make it as complicated as Magic the Gathering, and they've actually got some Magic the Gathering ex-employees who are working on the game. So it's going to have a basic framework of heroes and creeps to defend your tower whilst you attack the enemy, and then use your spells, buffs and other cards like to develop your strategies. And some of the cards and heroes you can like teleport through other lanes, you can silence other heroes, so it's going to be definitely an element of complexity there, which, you know, people are craving really. Like Hearthstone is a bit simple, and I'm getting a bit bored of it even myself. But there is a few worries that I have with the game. One is the business model. It's not going to be free to play, unfortunately. There's going to be like an initial cost where you spend about £30, I presume, on a bunch of cards and get access to the beta. You'll probably have a beta period that you buy into, and then you get a certain amount of cards, maybe like starter decks and things like that, and then you can buy booster packs that you can either use to enter drafts and sealed events, or you can use the cards and then sell them on the marketplace. It's going to be you can't buy individual cards or craft individual cards in game. If you want a certain card, you're going to have to go to the marketplace where it's being sold by individuals yourself. So if you want an X card that's really important for your deck, and then you go onto the marketplace and it's like £50–60 for the card because it's so rare and really needed in a certain deck. So I think this game is going to be expensive. It probably will be the most expensive digital card game that you could play, because if you think about CSGO and the CSGO skins and things like that, and the amount of money people spend on that, it does worry me, the cost, definitely. But Valve is definitely supporting the game, and they want to get the community. In early 2019, there's going to be $1 million prize pool tournament, and the game is going to be coming to iOS and Android in the middle of 2019. So you can see that this game is going to be massive. I mean, it's coming from Valve and the publishers and Steam publishers, so it's going to be big. I think the streamers are going to be wanting to get involved in this. There's a closed beta at the moment, so you've got you've got pros and streamers are actually working on the game now, polishing it. So it's going to be, I think, incredible. But that cost is going to put some people off. And if you think of new games that are coming out, you've got Magic the Gathering Arena, Gwent bringing out a single player game, as always, Hearthstone bringing out new expansions. I mean, it's going to be chock-a-block, and they're going to have to do a lot. Artifact's going to have to do a lot to get people to move away from those games, and I'm worried that the cost will just put people off, even though they do have a product that's amazing and looks amazing. The cost might be a put off for a lot of people. Hopefully bring you some more videos and more news as things come up, but thanks very much for listening today.